Welcome to our first training today for new company users. Today we'll be going over your basic company setup. This helps structure how a lot of other features will be used and what will be displayed in different forms throughout the program. We'll also go over basic features including scheduling jobs as well as setting up service areas and locations. Finally, we'll set up customer parameters that can be used for reporting and different scheduling features. To get started, go to app.skedit.com or skedit.com and click Login. That will take you to this screen. Input your username and password and hit Login. Once you've logged in, navigate to the left side toolbar and select Settings at the bottom right menu. Inside the Settings tab, you'll see a list of customizable features within the program. Click the second to last tab titled Company Setup. The first information box is going to be your company address. This will most likely have been set up as part of assigning you a new username and password. Check through the address and contact information to verify that everything is correct. This is what will be displayed at the top left corner of every document like invoices or quotes that will be sent out to customers. The time zone will be applied to your schedule where jobs are located. Future releases will allow different locations to have different time zones if required. The next step will be to select the company logo. Upload a logo into the Click to Add box. Square-shaped logos fit the format of most forms in the program and will be displayed much larger than a horizontal logo may be. You may want to play with different logo formats to see what fits the forms best for you. Next, select Company Locations. This feature is used to separate out service locations if you're running multiple offices or service departments. You can also use this feature to separate out different departments that may have different service managers, like a cleaning department compared to an install department. The addresses in this field are used more for internal information and are optional. Company hours are set to display hours on your schedule as well as available hours when you're using the auto schedule feature. Holiday hours will do two things. This will block out the schedule so you don't accidentally book jobs on these days, as well as adding hours to the employee on those days for payroll. User roles are going to preset permissions as well as give some optimized views for technicians who are set up on resources or trucks to see jobs assigned to them. To look at permissions more in depth, let's go to the Users on the left under Settings, then go to the Users button. Select a user and then click Permissions. This will allow you to pin down access and edit abilities of each user. There are a few permissions that are more specific than access and edit abilities, so let's dive into those now. The Optimize Jobs button will give the users the ability to click the Optimize button on the schedule to rearrange jobs based on location. Complete Appointments serves two different purposes, so you may want to make changes on this based on user type. The first thing this does is allow the user to close jobs. I would recommend for office users only allowing permission to those billing out jobs. That way they act as a gatekeeper to make sure the job is billed and everything is done before changing the status to complete. The complete status will change the job color to gray so that you visually can see that it's completed, as well as removing it from open jobs list so that it can be used for billing. For technicians on the app, there's a button that says Complete, but we will set this later to actually move the job into billing. I recommend giving all technicians the ability to complete appointments because this will allow them to change the status of their work environment or quote to completed, which will move it to billing or quote needed. We'll explain a few of these in depth more in a few minutes. Continuing with permissions, you can see things like can convert back to an estimate under sales orders or back to sales under invoices. This allows the user to move work back through the pipeline. I recommend adjusting this as needed for your company after training your staff on your preferred workflow. For payments, there's the ability to void and refund payments. I recommend locking this down to those processing payments only. Admin Unlock allows a user to open payments to make changes. Generally, you should not be making any changes after a payment for a card has been processed, as that payment will continue as submitted, not as it may be edited. For checks, this may be useful if you enter the check number incorrectly or other information incorrectly and need to have it changed. In most cases, this probably isn't going to be used that often, so I would recommend leaving it checked for most users processing payments. Under Inventory, there are abilities to see pick lists and sub-items. I would leave those checked for all users. It does not contain sensitive information in most cases, and users would only be using that function if necessary to their job. In Time Clock, there is the ability to edit own and other times. Obviously, only a supervisor over that employee or someone doing payroll should have the ability to adjust others' times. There are some lock features if an employee hasn't clocked in or out within a certain period of time to prevent them from changing their hours incorrectly. View Team Members allows a user to see the time clock information of employees under their charge, and Confirm Time Clocks allows that user or a manager to confirm their hours that are ready to be paid out. Now let's head back to Settings to see how complete status affects a job. In Settings, let's go to set up a job and appointment types. Job types and appointment types are used on all jobs to classify them. The job is the overall idea of work being done. Think of building a house, whereas the appointment is the work being done for a given day, like framing the house or electrical. Some job types, like a simple repair, might have the same job and appointment types. These are used in reports to give data on the number of appointment types completed by technicians and other reports. Let's click on Appointment Types. All appointment types have this Status on Complete dropdown. This refers to the Complete button as checked by the technician on the app, not the actual status complete. I recommend setting all service jobs that need to be billed to Billing. This will change the color of the job to yellow, notifying you that it is ready to be billed out, and adds it to the list of jobs in Billing. For estimates or quotes, I recommend setting up a new appointment status called Quote Needed, or something along those lines to help classify and keep track of those jobs. To do so, let's go to Appointment Status, click Add. We're going to name this Quote Needed. You can pick whichever color you'd like. We're going to hit Save, and then let's go back to Appointment Types. So under an estimate, Status on Complete, when a technician hits that they are completed with an estimate, we're going to switch that to Quote Needed. What that's going to do is in our jobs list, if we look for estimates that are in Quote Needed, this will show us a list of anything that we need to send a quote out to. To see where all this shows up, let's go to the Jobs tab on the left. Click Jobs. If you change an appointment status to Billing, this will show all of the jobs on the schedule that are ready to be billed out. You can also change the status to the new Quote Needed status and search by appointment types to see which appointments you still need to send quotes to customers. These filters can be used by different team members to focus in on what they are assigned to, and can be used to check at any time that billing or quotes are getting sent out by your team in a timely manner. That concludes the first walkthrough in setting your company up in Skedit to help you be more successful. If you have any specific questions, please reach out to your sales rep.